the purpose behind what we're doing is to share insight, inspiration, and really to generate positivity in the community. Um, Kind of like the other series I was working on, this is very much, geared towards creatives and those that are, providing services and that sort of thing to the industry. So I've spoken to some producers and some photographers and some filmmakers, financial advisor, a little bit of everything to just try to help us all cope through this scenario.
Yeah.
So if you would, for the viewer's sake, to just introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be a part of this series. Um, my name is Perla Melendez, and I'm the owner of Two Mamacitas Pop-Up Kitchen, a local catering business based in Oakland and serving Oakland, Berkeley, and SF, and sometimes even further out. I do Latin American and Caribbean cuisine, a lot of small private events in the neighborhood, and I also do postpartum meals for new moms, so nourishing food after giving birth to restore all the energies and just help with overall well-being during that time. Yeah, those are the two kind of specialties. It's all mobile. There's not a brick and mortar. It's kind of wherever it's needed. I zoom on over to that location.
And the name of the business is, again, it's Two Mamacitas.
Pop-up kitchen.
Okay, that's what I thought. Two Mamacitas Pop-Up Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So how is business? How are you dealing with this whole COVID-19 outbreak?
Yeah, business is good. Business is really good. When this all started a couple of weeks ago, it was it's really surprising. I'm sure, as it did everyone, it took me by surprise, and I didn't expect it to reach this state. And just to see my whole calendar being wiped out in one swoop was a little bit unsettling. Like I didn't know what to think. I wasn't scared yet. I wasn't. I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it was happening. But I'm as like a business owner. I'm pretty used to kind of having to be flexible and uncertainty. Like I start off pretty much every month not knowing exactly what's going to be on my calendar, and just with the belief that it's all going to work out, and thankfully it always does. But this one took a little bit more creativity, and I definitely had to refocus my my work in a way that is fitting for the time that we're now in. So I launched a menu that's strictly delivery. It could be pickup or delivery on people's doorstep, so a no contact delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mainly meals that are comforting. I think we all need that right now, just to be comforted by all the things, but food is such a key player in that.
Yeah,
Um,
what's on the menu? What?
so I've closed last week's menu because I luckily got so many, I have the word in my head in Spanish, pedidos, orders. And I'm only one person, and it's a lot to like do the marketing, do the accounting, do the shopping, especially as we were talking about earlier. It's just, you don't know what you're going to get when you show up to the store. You don't know how long you're going to be in line to get in. You don't know what's going to be available. So I capped it at 31 orders. So it's 31 different people ordering an array of things in different quantities from these 4 menu items that I had available. Last week I did a Moroccan sweet potato stew, which was vegan. I'm trying to make it accessible to everyone. So there were vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, meaty options, like all the things.
Sure.
I did a salmon with Lebanese dish on the bottom, mujallada, with its rice and lentils with sumac, um, fried onions, and a cucumber salad. And
Okay,
then
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some lunch here.
I know. Next time we need to do this over the food that's actually been prepared.
Yeah, right. Oh man, this sounds so good.
The next iteration of Two Mamacitas deliveries.
I like it. I like it. So, I mean, how long did it take you to pivot? How long did it, like obviously it was a big surprise. The calendar was wiped out. Like many of us, that's kind of the case. But like, how long did that take? Did you sit and mull over it for a while? Did you go into a state of depression? Did you binge on Netflix for a week? Or, what was the thinking behind the pivot?
Um, I feel like my calendar being empty started a little bit earlier. In January, I took the month off. I go to Mexico every year in January to celebrate my mom's anniversary, and just to be there and be present, and also take a break because it's just after the holiday season, and it's very like I need some downtime after November and December. So when I got back in February, my schedule was still clear. And one of the things that I had asked for this year, just in my journaling and kind of intention setting, was more space in my life. And I'm just reminded every day what I asked for. Literally, it was like time and space. That's what I said that I needed. And I mean, I have it.
Yeah.
So I had kind of been, I had a pretty clear calendar since the year started, which is definitely difficult financially, but I did do a little bit of planning for it to have some cushion when I got back in February. But it took me maybe like 3 or 4 days after my big events were canceled. I had a wedding that was canceled. It was definitely going to be like, some good income.
Yeah.
And it was really helpful to talk to my friends and creative community, because we're all on the same page and we're all brainstorming of how we can just flip the script and kind of realign with the times. So they provided a lot of encouragement, and it's always nice to hear what other people think that would be a good offering that you have, because sometimes you're just too close to the situation and you're like, well, I only do this, like I can't do anything else. And they're like, wait a minute, you can do so many other things. So yeah, it didn't take that long, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good. You had mentioned something about journaling and intention setting. Can you share a little bit about what that looks like and what that process is?
Sure. So it's something that I do pretty regularly, just I think on a monthly basis. I have this amazing moon calendar that my friends Sita and April put together, and it's just a beautiful way to kind of track your anything you want, really, but track your habits, your routines, the things that are working for you, and the things that are kind of best to release with every moon cycle. So you start off the month kind of like calling what you want, and then the the month, or the full moon, you're like releasing whatever didn't work. And because you're kind of documenting every day, you have like research that you've done on your own cycles, and you can look back and say, oh, this I did it like for a week in a row and it really worked, and maybe this didn't work, so I'm going to scratch that. So that's been really helpful, to just kind of do that regularly. And then at the beginning of every year, I like to just call out what I want for the year.
Right. So it's helpful to stay focused or continually visit that in order
Mm-hmm.
to keep your focus aligned with the things that you want, right? Or the things that you're striving for.
Yeah, and also holds me accountable because I mean, I can it's easy to say what I want, but it's it's a whole different story when your actions are matching up with what you're saying that you're calling in. Like if I'm calling in abundance, but I'm like not doing anything to promote that in my actions. Like I don't know. I do believe in the powers of the universe, but I think you have to meet everything halfway.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one thing to desire to be a rock star, but then never play, or
Yeah.
to be a basketball player and not practice. I think all of us have a set of talents and gifts, but if we don't exercise them, we tend to let them go, or others work harder.
Yeah, absolutely. It requires work.
It does. It does. I'm always reminded of a story I heard where, the rising star is all of a sudden found out of nowhere. It's like, no, they've been singing for years. It's just that, like Lizzo, for example. I remember seeing her 15 years ago when there was like 25 people at a brewery that were watching her on stage.
Wow.
And, she just kept going and kept going, that determination and that self-awareness and self-belief. Now she's at the top of her game, and I think, she always had that talent. And yes, you grow along the way, but to continually work at your goal and your dream. And I think by journaling and following some form of a calendar, you're able to stay focused and stay accountable. I love that.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I definitely recommend it. And
Yeah.
there's so many ways to do it. I think it's something that's really accessible, um, always, and especially during this time.
Yeah. So thinking forward, say a month or 2 months, and this whole epidemic has passed, how are you preparing for that? Or what are you looking forward to? Or how are you going to position yourself, I guess, position the business?
Yeah. Um, I haven't thought about it that much. One thing that I'm looking forward to is having just a wider base of customers from all this promotion and delivery service that I've been doing. I think it's reaching a whole other group of people, that are definitely going to be interested in catering for when we can all get together again, and they have bigger events. So I am excited, to just have them join in on the Two Mamacitas family.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I imagine there's going to be big parties
yeah,
once everybody can get together. Everyone's having a party.
parties. Yeah, I agree. And I'm also excited to use my taco card again. It's just kind of sitting in storage right now and kind of sad.
Yeah.
Just not getting
What's a taco cart?
um,
No.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen the taco cart yet. It's really fun. So anytime there's kind of like a day party or even an outdoor taco party request, I load it up in my car. The legs are removable, and it's like the full length of my car. It's like 6 feet, and it has a grill and two steam table kind of situations, and it hooks up to a gas tank, and it's just like a party, an instant party.
Yeah.
um, and it's fun, and it's something that engages people, and when you're at a party and there's a taco cart, you feel like you just have unlimited access to tacos, which makes everyone happy.
That's amazing. Obviously, this is kind of a spur of the moment situation that we're all in. And I think a lot of us are heads down trying to figure out what's our next move, what's our next play, how do we stay connected, how do we stay relevant, how do we show that we actually care. I mean, because that's a big concern now too. I mean, with I was reading the headline of an article. I didn't actually get to the article yet, earlier today, that was talking about, it was actually from Mark Cuban, and he was saying, like, the way that companies or businesses respond to this will have a permanent impact on how people engage with that company. Like, for example, there was a big uproar about a company that wasn't providing hazard pay, that wasn't increasing wages, but yet making sure that their stores were open. And there's a backlash to that, because now it's like, oh, you don't care, you don't consider us valuable. Have you put any thought into that? I mean, I know you're already providing these delivery services, which isn't something that you did in the past, but what's the motivation behind that, and how do you see things like that continuing?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think now's the time where people are really watching. They have the time and space to really take note, and like, we'll all remember who showed up for each other when all this is over. And I think a certain loyalty will come along with that. Um, I think that doing the meal deliveries in this time um, has really been helpful to, I mean, just as much as it's helped me keep afloat, it's helped people that, have families and aren't really wanting to risk going out to the store, and or don't just have the bandwidth to plan a week of meals,
Mhm.
um, and have it be healthy and also easy. So it's helping them just just maintain some kind of regularity in their life. And I've delivered to a couple people that either they are experiencing or live with someone experiencing a delicate immune situation. So it's, I mean, they're the ones that this is really for, like, I don't want them to go out and risk being exposed. So I'm really grateful to be able to serve the people that really need it. Um, I think it's something that I'll continue to do once all this is over, just as I have done with the postpartum meals. That's always been a delivery service, sometimes even an in-home cooking service. So maybe that will branch out into not only postpartum, but just people going through any kind of transition or situation in their life where they need extra care as far as food is concerned.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's nothing better than a home cooked meal, especially when you are not able to go out, and you've got your family there together. I think that's an amazing offering, because especially in a time like this, we all need that extra comfort. And I mean, you said it well. It's comforting. It's it's for the heart. Really.
Absolutely.
Um, and I mean, you also mentioned on finding ideas in a creative network. How important is community? I mean, I think we all realize just how important it is now, but tell me a little bit about your aspect on community.
I mean, community is number one. It's just like, I love Oakland so much because of the community, and um, none of this would be possible without the community. I mean, people wanting to and being intentional about supporting each other and small businesses. I think year round and even outside of this situation is something that has really helped me thrive. And I think it's definitely mutual. Um, and yeah, it's crucial. It's I think when you have a good community and a good sense of community, um, that's a really important part of being healthy. You know, there's different kinds of health, of course, physical and emotional and spiritual, but just social health. Uh, Community is key in that. You know, we all need to feel like we're connected and we belong and we relate. I think it's part of being human. So, whatever way we can do that during this time, whether it be like through things that you're setting up like this, or um, writing letters, talking on the phone, yoga, Zoom classes,
Mhm.
walking, I don't know, all of it. And
Yeah,
we need all of it because community is really what's going to get us through this.
I agree. I mean, all of this is challenging for all of us. How are you dealing with it personally? I know we spent some time talking about the business side of things and the creative side of things, but personally, what are you doing that besides the things that you just said? Like, how are you handling this? How's the family? And
My family's great. I'm so thankful that everyone is in good health. So that's a blessing. I've been in good health, which is crucial to me being able to help others. So I'm constantly reminding myself to slow down and take my time, even though I may have all these ideas to to further this project and also to keep helping in other ways. I think I have to remind myself that I don't have to work as hard as if everything was business as usual, right? Like this is an exceptional time, and I think we all need a little bit more um, just compassion for ourselves and for each other. Things are going to take a little bit longer, and um, I'm just trying to be okay with that, like
yeah,
just not push myself to the point where I am exhausted and I can't enjoy my day.
yeah, totally. I mean, we all feel, especially as entrepreneurs and small business owners, we're all feeling a pressure, right? Like, I mean, I feel it. It's like I got to do something. I got to keep moving. I got to keep shaking. I got to keep creating. But I'm also, like you said, I've got to slow myself down because I can't wear myself out in the sense of, you know, doing too much. And
Right.
I have that tendency anyways.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. But, now, I mean, we're taking a little bit of a slowdown and that's very helpful. I think a lot of people in the creative space are trying new techniques. They're, working on their portfolio or working on, presenting themselves better the next round or when all of this kind of clears. So I think everyone has their own method, their own way, but I think the importance is that we all do slow down and take a little time to journal or to find that space. I think it's very important to have a self-guidance time, I guess, and you talked about that earlier and how important that is. I think that's a really important part that we all need to do. I feel like in some odd way, this is the earth saying, okay, everybody take a break, um,
Yeah, there's a phrase that I keep running into online that says, if you can't go outside, go inside. And I really love that because it reminds me of just how important self reflection and just meditating on however, or thinking about your life and your role in all of this is. And I forgot what I was just gonna say. Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping that this is a reset for all of us humans, and that when this clears, that we all just don't resume and live life like in the way that we were living it before. I hope that we're all more mindful and and still are looking out for each other like a lot of people are doing now, and that we're also just a little bit more slow about the way we go about our days, because sometimes it just feels ridiculously fast.
It does. It really does. I mean, from the moment you wake up, you grab a cup of coffee or some breakfast, and then you're just off and running for the day. And I know I find myself coming back, and I'm already so tired, and I'm just like, all right, I got to go to bed because I've been like nonstop all day. And so taking breaks and walking, getting outside a little bit, playing human obstacle courses for the time being. But yeah, taking time for ourselves and letting things unwind a little bit, taking a little bit more intention.
I would be so fine just letting go of that and allowing our own well-being to be priority. Of course, that would be nice if it also was the government's priority. So I'm hoping for that too.
Yeah, we'll see. I think there's definitely been a stirring across the globe with politics, with business, with so many aspects of life. So hopefully everyone is taking time to reset and really figure things out. I think the world is due for that.
Absolutely.
Well, I know you've got things happening. I do want to know what's on the menu for the next round, if you have any inkling to that.
This round, I'm definitely going to do some drinks. So I'm going to do my cashew milk horchata that is really fun. And I'm going to do some tamarindo juice, agua de tamarindo. And I'm also going to be doing a sangria.
Of course.
Because I think, people are having online happy hours. It's a very, we call it a happy elixir.
Yeah.
Anyone on the Two Mamacitas team knows that it brings a lot of joy. It has mango and passion fruit, and wild blueberries and fresh squeezed orange juice, and it's just life in a cup when you need a little pick me up. So I'm gonna do that.
Amazing. When is the new menu out?
It's out this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, and something that's been such a blessing, and I'm just so grateful for, again, community support, is my neighbor Michael is in the tech world, and he knows a lot about coding and putting together websites. And during this time, I mean, we've been kind of passing each other's windows a lot, and what are you cooking, what are you making, I just made some of this, do you want some of that? And he designed my website, and he put the menu up, and he just made it so easy for the next round. The first round, it was just kind of me putting together the menu, like really spur of the moment. And I made it a Google form, and it was so complicated to read. Like, my mind does not do well with spreadsheets. It's kind of just like a lot for me. But he made the checkout system so easy. So I'm really excited for people to see the Two Mamacitas website.
What is the web address?
It's twomamacitas.com.
Oh, well, that's easy.
And I actually have had it, embarrassingly enough, for like 6 years, but I haven't, speaking of just going, I haven't had a moment to just sit down and put it together. I also don't have that much background in building websites, so it's going to take extra time and effort. Um,
I mean, that's one of those things as a small business owner, you've got to wear all of the hats.
all of the
And
hats.
that's really, really challenging, and it's very hard to figure all those things out. Mm.
Yes. Yeah, accounting and publicity and shopping and cooking and cleaning, and then also to be the one that's delivering or presenting
Mm-hmm.
these meals at every event. I wear many hats, and people are often asking me, "Where's the other Mamacita?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm both. If not more, I'm definitely more than two Mamacitas."
Yeah, yeah. On a side note, have you seen the show Hentified?
No, I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
you got to check it out. So
Yeah, but
good.
yeah, I really want to watch it. I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah,
I love the name. It's been on my list.
yeah, yeah. We were down in Colombia for a very short vacation, and I mean, we binged it all in one night.
So fun.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
yeah, so good. Well, listen, I'll let you go now. I really appreciate you taking time out and, and chatting with me and shedding some light, some inspiration, and positivity to all of the community. Can't thank you enough.
Sean, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on this beautiful series, and I'm excited to tune in and hear other creatives and their process and keep the inspiration flowing.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So thanks again, and until next time.
Okay, see you soon. Stay safe.
All right, you too.